A big man with a big mouth, Jon fucking Zherka, has apparently gotten his masculinity ripped apart on cam in front of millions. And what's best is that we have X.com, formerly known as Twitter, to basically catalog exactly what's going through his mind and what a sort of manic spiral does to a motherfucker. Okay, so key indicator of what's going on in his mind. Almost got banned out of America because of collabing with Adin the Snitch Ross. He would constantly set up HS to get fight, but when he did not want, HS would have to smile back at him to avoid burning the bridge Lamphao. Best content in the wild, not gonna lie. Imagine being bullied by a gay midget. So what's indicative here, of course, is that number one, there's like two or three typos, but it's kind of like symbolic of what's going on. He just isn't mentally there now. And I mean, he got rocked. But anyway, he's calling Adin Ross a gay midget. Now, is that only after Adin blackballed him? Only after Adin had apparently stabbed him in the back, when in reality, Zherka has been a nuisance for a while? I mean, the guy is his own worst enemy. Of course, we're dealing with somebody who should have it all, right? He's like 6'5", 260, vaguely in good shape. Cocaine makes him charismatic. He's good looking. Okay, but then what happens? His arrogance. The fall, but the fall is just bigger than you've ever seen. It makes a man stutter. So basically, we're dealing with somebody who's biting the hand that fed him because he's mad because he got emasculated, and this tweet basically encapsulates all of that. Here's the pathetic part as well, by the way. You've got a man in Jon Zherka who apparently has a couple 100,000 views on this. Now, on YouTube, that would translate to like maybe $1,000 in revenue. But again, we're not talking about YouTube. We're talking about, in this case, Jon Zherka, who in a major way is getting this sort of information out there, but for no money. Think about it. So he lives a lifestyle of these like 5-star hotels and these hookers or whatever. Maybe he has Riz, maybe he'll get them for free. But the point is that he has an expensive lifestyle out of country. He's a Canuck, but he's over here making content, posting it on Twitter, where it does get out there, but he's not profiting. Okay, and I mean that's a huge hindrance. How is he going to last in the country? All right, so here you go. Another major deal, right? So you've got, even before he became a mafia boss, I always disliked Adin cause Pami. Pussy was too fired to be kept a secret. So there you go. So again, he apparently fucked Adin Ross's ex-girlfriend, his one-nightus. Okay, fair enough. But then he feels the need to play that card. When you're playing the card of I slept with this girl or I did this thing with this girl, that's basically a desperation thing. It's an immature thing to do. A lot of us learn that the hard way. The point is obviously that he shouldn't. I mean, that's just a faux pas, right? Because what you do is basically a girl gets off on well, she'll get away with sleeping around if the guys don't tell, right? But when a guy doesn't get a lot, he'll tell everybody. And that's kind of the problem, right? So again, you learn this in real life, and this is definitely symbolic of what's going on with Zherka. He's trying to say, like, I have leverage over Adin Ross because I'm taller than him, as if that really matters. Or two, that it's even in his control. Third is also that, again, Pammy is supposed to be a girl that he was in love with. And so, Jon sleeping with her like 3 years after the fact is supposed to mean something. Clearly, who's winning, Adin or Zherka? And you can tell who's running up a score. Okay, Jon has another important tweet here. He says, I lost to this? Nah, he tapped out and I was drug maxing off the perky, crying emoji. This ain't my legacy, hell nah. And then this tweet says, just put this in my ass to give me energy for this 12-hour stream today. Dot 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 dot. We're sparking up the next half hour. Who's ready? Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation point. All right, well, first of all, this HS Tiki Taki fellow is probably not the best content creator. I've never seen his stuff prior to this whole beatdown of Zherka. But what I will say is that alone would give him a ton of clout. And moreover, you've got this guy, Jon Zherka, who is saying that, oh, this ain't my legacy. I got beat by this guy who's making gags out of dildos or whatever that thing is, a vibrator maybe. Anyway, the point is that this guy's playing with a sex toy and he beat you. This ain't my legacy, hell nah. So he's in the denial stage. Of course, we got multi-stage, faceted sort of things. Of course, bargaining, dealing with all this shit. He's mourning his own masculinity being eviscerated. Again, new levels of desperation from Jon. I'm finally out of all legal trouble. Before I go back to being my reckless self, I have to make an apology to my mom for what I have put her through. I'm truly sorry, mama. Your son, a goddamn superstar. Again with the bad syntax. Guitar emoji, by the way. So here you go. He's got like a fake AK-74U without the stock, obviously. You've got a fucking hat because he's balding. You have his headphones on because he's a computer nerd. And then you have a bunch of money, right? So just acting like the prototypical black guy. I mean, he even has the fucking tattoos on his hand, which is to suggest, of course, that, oh, I'm masculine or whatever. But I mean, this is just blatant as fuck cope. Cope. So he's saying, yeah, I got my ass beat, but I have money and have a gun, which any 23-year-old black kid in Chicago can probably say they have, right? And so at that point, what are you so special in? And the answer is not much. So again, cope sort of masculinity ploy. Folks, we recently saw this cope that you're about to read with Dylan Dennis, of course. You can have your apology, but when you sign the MMA match we promised the fans after y'all jumped me and lost. Okay, huge copium. Okay, so apparently Zherka got jumped by HS. The fuck are we smoking, bud? If he's referring to the video, we all know him, the infamous one. He pushed up on this guy at the restaurant when he was with some, like old bitch, 29-year-old, by the way. This guy's like 22, the HS guy, that is, who, by the way, his name alone will make him not famous. HS Tiki-Taki, end it all. Harry Sullivan, that's his name. End it all as in just like stop your career because I don't find him interesting. But beside that tangent, of course, he's claiming that he got jumped. John, that is. Okay, well, that's crazy because that obviously didn't play out the way that he's saying, folks. And so now he's doing the MMA Cup, just like Dylan Dennis. Oh, I'll fight Logan Paul in some sport that I'm better at. No, it doesn't work that way, okay? Like, if I'm the shit, if I'm talking shit and I'm saying, look, I'm going to beat my buddy at NHL and then I lose and say, oh, well, come play Madden with me. No, Nick, no. You lost. Why the hell would he take you up on a fight when he has a chance to lose when he already beat you that first time? Unless there's a ton of money involved. And there isn't. No offense to kick streamers, but if you ain't sleep deprived and hunting each other out on the streets for high school drama, you ain't content. Huh? And now he's bitching about having a shadow ban on Kick. So I don't even know what he's doing. I mean, this is clearly just not even smart. What's the angle here? Say something disrespectful and then say that you were kidding? I mean, what? I mean, like, what the fuck is the game? It's not even Machiavellian. It's not smart. It's not funny either. So in this clip from Fresh and Fit, I'm not going to play it, but the point is that in this clip, of course, we see a Jon Zherka who was pressed in a way that is significant, of course, because he basically claimed that he banged everybody in the Jack Doherty house, which he obviously didn't. And so when the girls are pressed about it, they all deny it. Now, out of 10 girls, did he sleep with like maybe 2 or 3? Yeah, probably. But he's over here saying that Jack exposes his girls anytime his viewer count gets low, and it's so awkward, Lamau. To be fair, Michelle rejected me for the first week. Heart eye emojis. Okay, well, listen here. First of all, so again, this is the problem when you run your mouth about this sort of shit. Oh, I slept with these girls. The girls have every incentive to downplay it and lie about it. Either they'll say like, "Oh, well, he had a small dick," or "Well, I did this," or "Well, it didn't really happen," or "It was like short term," or "Well, he sucked in bed," something like this, right? And so at that point, I mean, this is why as a guy you have to just avoid announcing this shit because you might have to learn the hard way where the girl just lies, or maybe you're lying. But either way, I mean, it's a bad look. The way to do it if you're slick is to kind of like make it obvious. Well, not obvious, but basically discovery beats exposition. What that means is that if you do something cool, it's way more impressive to women and other people in general when they just discover it versus if you were to brag about it. Okay, like if your grandfather had this really cool antique thing, you'd be like, holy shit, what the fuck is this gun from World War II? He has a Mauser C76 or whatever. Okay, cool. But instead, you're like, oh well, hey son, I got this fucking gun. No, that's lame. Okay, this one's kind of funny, but still. I did not have sex with Zherka, skull emoji. Yeah, girl, he had sex with you, axe emoji. And then below, I am a 300-pound dead corpse. Bitch, you owe me oral. Gun emoji. All right, well, guess what? 1.4 million views. So basically, he had like quasi dated this chick a couple years ago. This is old Twitch lore. Old heads would understand this, okay? So basically, this Jenna chick, I think her name is, she was playing hard to get, of course, which a lot of girls do. That's fine. But what I will say is that, okay, it is Jenna. Cool. All right, so you have that going on. And basically, what is so important about this, of course, is how much he kind of portends to get around. And so he gets in this trap where he's saying he sleeps with all the girls on Fresh and Fit. He sleeps with this chick. And so when they're denying him, and it's back-to-back tweets of him saying, well, no, I did actually fuck you. It looks pathetic, just out of context. Okay, another indicator of him going crazy. He captions this one Fuzzy moment. So he's leaking DMs with Jenna, all right, the blonde chick, all right. So he says that his head is spinning, and then she says, I wanted you to get help because I care about you, and I'm scared. I don't want you to die. He's like, I'm bringing us flame and money. Lightning bolt emoji, okay. And then she says, John, you're losing who is more important in the process, you. And he says, I am a dictator. So again, is it manic or is it just general insanity? Again, he doesn't have a good grip as to what he's doing. And so it's kind of indicative in the way that he acts. Okay, folks, I talk fast, but it's the truth. Okay, this guy, John, is over here talking to a girl that likes him, who's saying, nigga, you're unstable. And that's what anybody who's cool with him understands. Like, okay, I think he's a cool guy, but he's his own worst problem. What do they say? John, you need a manager. He kind of acknowledges it, but he doesn't actually follow through with any sort of regimen. Why? He's unstable. Okay, well, look at this. He copes. And then he captions this insanity, this immaturity as a 28-year-old, 29-year-old guy to say like, oh well, I'm a dictator. Okay, a dictator that got his ass whooped. So what are you, Gaddafi circa 2011? I mean, it's looking pretty rough, eh? Again, this is more bait. And the more I read his tweets, the more I realize that the target audience are really like seventh grade boys. He says, I will be attacked by 3 girls this week because I was leading them on before making it serious with the teenager. Heart eye emojis. Lord, my bad, she's so cute. So he's just humble bragging, I guess. I will be attacked by 3 girls. So he's making himself the victim, of course, saying like, oh, 3 hot bitches are going to attack me this week because I led them on for a younger teenager. Again, with the whole like pedo reference, which I know he doesn't really mean, but again, like he's doing this for shock jock humor. But again, only 42,000 views, 255 likes in the course of days. It's somewhat pathetic for him. Here's another one. The Pammy stuff was crossing the line. Bro, your boys jumped me 3 times and failed. Fuck yo ho that I fucked. Wedding ring emoji. Well, I don't know about this middle line, but I mean, the point is that he got blocked by Adin Ross. Now, is that a bitch move? Perhaps. But when you think about it, Zherka is not really adding anything. He got bitched first. Second, as soon as you kick him out, he's automatically just biting the hand that fed him, which in a major way shows that he's not really smart. Your religion is watching gay ass dudes because Adin made you do it. Christ is king. This is, I don't even know who the fuck this is. Okay, maybe he's right. Okay, now this is the biggest example of him falling apart at the seams. Okay, you've got this thing, all right, a screenshot, a fucking screenshot of a kick chat or maybe Twitch where it says some random nobody, Ernest Thorvav, says you got knocked out by HS Tiki Talkie, check mark, and then he responds, HS got pillow hands, ha ha ha. Okay, so you got knocked out by pillow hands. Interesting. Also, like again, so I mean, 77,000 people viewed this. So the average person looking at this most likely thought, wow. So this fucking guy who's famous apparently is spending time watching this brunette guy who I don't know who that is, and then responding and screenshotting the random posts that are a-logging him. Odd. So every hater just being taken seriously kind of shows where her self-esteem is at, and it's down below the cellar into the earth's crust, maybe mantle at this point. Here we go with Zherka screenshotting a fucking random YouTube post with maybe 24 likes. Now, here's the thing, right? So this post in and of itself has 24 likes and it's not pinned. What that means is that Zherka is going on YouTube videos about him. He might have seen mine, where basically he's just screenshotting random posts, assuming somebody else didn't send it to him. So this guy, Chronic Frequency 4677, 3 days ago, purports it doesn't matter if Zherka can fight or not. It's the fact that he will show up and fight anybody, anywhere, and defend his honor, whether he wins or loses, unlike all these other internet personalities. Okay, good cope. But look at this. All right, so he calls HS pillow hands, but the whole point is that you got knocked out by pillow hands, so it kind of runs across as cope, and it's contradictory as well. Also, he says he won, but look at how the narrative has shifted. In my last video, you all know that he said, oh, I won the fight, oh, he was tapping out. Now he's doing this bullshit cope preamble, and then also at the end, I won. I don't know, it looks a little tough. Okay, here he says, Adin Ross's real manager preparing for his viewers for the spa day at the Lake of Fire. So he's calling his real manager Satan incarnate, making a pride flag, whatever have you. Now, obviously, Adin Ross's managers are these kvetching types, obviously awful people. I saw an interview with one of his managers, literally the worst. But I will say this, though. Again, where was his energy before? When you were in good, where was his energy is my question. Shows a little bit, not a snake tendency by Jon, but more so, lashing out, kind of bitch-made energy. Another brain-dead move by Jon Zherka. He starts messaging the girl that the HS guy was with on the date that he got jumped in. Okay, so then he does this, right? And so he just keeps asking, who she was, saying, he met her at another podcast. She confirms that. Okay, well, send me a picture to make sure it's the same girl, and it is the same girl. And then he captions it by saying, why is Tiki Talkie girl being all friendly, lol? The other one has stopped messaging me because she was told to stop. Ahaha. So here's the thing. It'd be one thing if you were to fuck the girl he was on a date with, but instead he overcooks it. He just fucking leaks it before he even gets any pussy. What? So again, no actual, no brain. All right, so here's another one. Shut up, skank by trade, comma. You look like a transgender Super Mario and the wall just got 100 feet higher. Well, okay, so again, he brought this attention to 200,000 different people. Okay, now what is the thing that he's reacting to that would solicit this much attention out of his day? Well, apparently you have Missy Lopez over here with a comment that A little bit of a snarky thing, but not a big deal. If you're famous, you should get this all the time. Zherka is a 3 out of 10 at best. Obviously, not a valid opinion, but okay. Then you've got this next post. Okay, so that's what pissed him off, right? This chick apparently was being called a transgender as a roast. Okay, fine. But then you've got this 2 likes. This nigga is quote tweeting a bitch with 2 likes. This is how insecure he is. Okay, come on, man. Really? This is the sort of like your savior, by the way. Here's another one. So one of the fan accounts say Grace says she's gonna marry Zherka, even MIA. Zherka always catching W's. So apparently this is like some C-list like groupie that he's raising up. Okay, fine, I don't know. But then he says this, and again, this is a 30-year-old man. Grace, you my sister, stop it. I'm so turned on hospital meds for arm right now. I would hammer your pussy into dust, young lady. Hospital emoji, hammer emoji. I don't know, man. What the fuck? What happens when you have fucked them all? You fuck yourself. And he's bent over at the fucking kitchen table. Oh, Lord. Here's another all-time banger, by the way. I don't know what Jenna's problem is, but she needs dick-to-mouth therapy. She's suffering from woman IQ. Says woman IQ. Meanwhile, again, grammar check. It's a very white person sort of criticism, but like, what the fuck, man? And then this one. Where is my kick deal? At kick streaming. So what, you're aiming a fucking plastic gun at the camera? Okay. But again, he's 10 years older than me. When is he going to get it together, folks? This is a phenomenal insight to the whole dynamics of Zherka's psychology. So here we have some fans of his saying that here you go. The same women he shames are the same women that give him W's if they want him. Lol, so pathetic, which is true, right? So he'll call people like Grace a whore, the blonde chick. But when she says, "Oh, I want to marry you," oh, that's based. Okay, then Christ Crusader, who again is like the phenotypical sort of like stereotypical in this case archetype Zherka fan. Okay, so Christ Crusader says Grace is a whore, probably true, right? Okay, and then Mike also says a whore wants to marry you. That's a W. Lol, what? Biggest L. So look at that, right? And then what's the Zherka cope? Okay, so he calculates and he says shame is what gets women to orgasm. Not all women, all of them. Okay, so basically, he's using his fans, using their Christian morality to say this OnlyFans bitch is a whore, and then using that for her to like read it later so he can bang her and she can orgasm. So the way he's getting his girls to orgasm is not by normal means, but instead to shame them and to say, look at my 14-year-old fan base using the Holy Spirit to judge you as a whore. But that's gonna get her off. You see how that's kind of perverted? So like in a roundabout way, he's getting his innocent fans to roast this OnlyFans chick that he shouldn't be with in the first place so that she can have a better orgasm through like guilty conscious. Anyway. Okay, so look at this. What drugs were you on when you attacked him? No drugs beside the arm meds I got in the prime fight and a whole lot more. Even with noodle soggy legs, I got the takedown and I'm in so much pain right now. Then he posts his pill bottles. Okay, fine. Here's the thing. As an adult, you say, you take all the accountability, all the responsibility, and you say, nigga, if you're on meds, then don't fight someone. Oh, well, I lost because I was on meds. Bro, really? Now, this is the titular sort of thing right here, folks. When you have that first sip of codeine after blasting a load down Bammy's back, she is office cute. And again, lean, fake AK, Yeti hat. Okay, bro, really? Again, we're 12 going on 29 at this point. It's tough, right? Because he's saying he's sipping codeine. First of all, I mean, Zherka didn't grow up in this culture. It'd be one thing if you had this like anorexic 16-year-old black kid in the bayou. Okay, yeah, maybe you grow up on Lil Wayne, you sip codeine. All right. This guy's not Young Thug. He's a fucking Canadian. He didn't grow up sipping lean. Not at all. In fact, he's probably doing it just because he wants to act black, which is just a degenerate thing to do. No? In most cases, it is. Now, here's the other thing. You've got this guy going on saying that, oh, he blew a load down Pammy's back. Well, the more he talks about it, the less likely it seems to be the case. So, there you go. Another thing. Okay, she's office cute. Nigga, what does that even mean, bruh? This was the serpent that tempted Adam. Okay, I don't get the reference. Okay, we have Megan the Stallion, ass back, fat as shit. Okay, fair enough. But then he says, this is the serpent that tempted Adam. Now, I don't know if he has Genesis reversed or if this is supposed to be some pun. What is that? My eyes are burning with the amount of cope going on here, but as you can see, you've got Jon Zherka, and he's saying, Zherka's astrological divination chart, fully leaked, not witchcraft, parentheses. Born February 23rd, 1994. Zherka has deeply exalted Mars, as he is born on the 23rd. 23 is one of the most powerful numbers you can cosmologically be imprinted with. Mars is the planet that rules the blood. That's why it's red. The number 9 is the number of Mars of war. Now, again, this is just pseudo-intellectual nonsense, as we all know. It's just like Black Hebrew Israelite retardation. So why is blood ruled by Mars? Well, because Mars is like orangey red. Great, dude. Wow. Okay. And then you've got all this other shit. And then he has an AI art of him like in his 50s, probably, assuming he doesn't lose the hair, which is a big ask. We've got Zherka has been crafted by God to be a raging soldier of the word, whether they want to hear it or not. So it's a lot of wish casting. We got a gift Zherka W here. When you fat, 5'5", and have a bunch of clout, so you dwell in your e-girl lit up Pop-Tart cave like that fat fairy your father birthed out of his pussy hole at Los Pollos TV, who's a kick streamer. Anyway, wow, that's actually a good Zherka dub. So as we can all see, obviously Jon Zherka is losing his mind. We just saw this recap of what went on in like less than a week. You can see the guy's rapidly deteriorating mentally. I recommend he kind of just fucks off. At this point, I don't know what he could do. I guess he can hunt down HS and beat him up and somehow not get deported and avoid getting arrested. Okay, maybe then he can redeem himself a little bit. But until then, he can keep tweeting every fucking day. And I swear to God, half of this like video creation time was just me scrolling through all of his reposts. This nigga like sends the same tweet 3 different times. It's infuriating. That's part of the reason why Zherka's not cool anymore. Anyway, see y'all in the next video. Adios.